an opportunity. Listen, I could talk about, the Sports Center I did last night, but to start the show, it would cause me to turn down a chance to say I told you so.
Oh, jeez.
And we know you love that.
And all the things I like to do, kind of like to tell you I told you so. When the Colts hired Daniel Jones, and Daniel Jones turned down other opportunities to go to the Indianapolis Colts, these things happen for a reason. I'm not saying the Colts told Daniel Jones, you sign here, you're the starting quarterback. Okay? Can't say that, won't say that. I'm sure they didn't say that because they don't know how Anthony Richardson was going to show up and show out. They didn't know, but they definitely knew Anthony Richardson needed somebody there. And they also definitely knew they needed somebody there in case Anthony Richardson still was unready or unhealthy. And they hired Daniel Jones. And today they named him the starting quarterback, and not just for week 1. Shane Steichen named Daniel Jones the Indianapolis Colts starting quarterback for the season. And it's not going to be, hey, Daniel, go on out there and take on the Miami Dolphins in week 1 in Indianapolis in Lucas Oil, where we're putting Jim Irsay's name in the Ring of Honor, and the whole place is going to be going absolutely ape. And good luck, and keep looking over your shoulder for number 5, because we did draft him top 5, and we're very concerned about our futures here. And if this doesn't work out with the kid, we're screwed. So you got only a couple games to figure it out. No, Shane Steichen has come out and he has said Daniel Jones is the starting quarterback for the entire year. And just don't take my word for it. We have the soundbite.
Okay.
Hit it.
Shane, how long of a leash will Jones have?
Look, he's our starting quarterback for the season. I don't want to have a quick leash on that. I feel confident in his abilities.
There you go.
There you go.
Now, I understand. If you hear, if you want, just take a minute. And I know this is not great for radio. Silence is bad.
No, yeah, not good.
But just take a listen. Can you hear the howling laughter of Giants fans all the way from New Jersey? That said, Daniel Jones has a massive opportunity here. Daniel Jones has a massive opportunity and a massive amount of talent. Don't laugh. Don't laugh. Because Vikings fans weren't laughing that one day when they thought, we got Kirk Cousins and we got a home playoff game. And wait a minute, when did Colin Kaepernick show up here? Because that's what and who Daniel Jones looked like. That's what he channeled on that day, where every pass was a rocket and every run was him running damn near 25 miles an hour, ticketed in a 20-mile-an-hour zone. And he made Saquon better. You heard what I said. The problem is that was one day. And the problem for the Giants is that one day occurred when they had a decision to make on who to sign long-term and who to franchise tag, and we all know yada, yada, yada. Saquon has a 2,000-yard season and a trophy in the case of the Philadelphia Eagles, and Daniel Jones is now getting a new start on his quarterback life in Indianapolis, where, again, being an expert in the New York City area, having grown up there in Staten Island, New York, which, as you know, Mike, is attached to your home state by no fewer than 3 bridges. In New Jersey, an expert in that area, and having spent 20 winter/spring weekends in Indianapolis, and I've been around that town. I've been there. That's not the New York market.
No.
Daniel Jones, if something happens, isn't going to hear about it on the fan. Might hear from it from a fan. Might hear from it if he's walking past St. Elmo's from a fan, Patachu, Cafe Patachu, where Pat McAfee is a free meal for me anytime he wants. And he knows it. It's going to be different. And it's going to be chill. And it's going to be Daniel Jones with Jonathan Taylor behind him. And Tyler Warren over there. And Freeman. And Pierce. And Downs. And Shane Steichen with an ability to coach it up. Crazier things have happened in the NFL than Daniel Jones hitting it in Indianapolis. And he can. Now, will he? Front row seat to that. You got the Colts schedule?
Oh.
Why not? I'm not going to play the win-loss game. But I'm telling you, that home date against Miami, it's going to be lit in there. Jim Irsay is going into their Ring of Honor. Then they're home for Denver. At Tennessee, at the Rams, home for Vegas, home for Arizona. 4 of their first 6 games are at home. 5 of their first 6 games are in a dome. Daniel Jones, 0 elements. I know it's September and October. Nothing going on. At the Chargers, another dome game. Home for the Titans, another dome game. This is going to be the type of stuff where you can control your environment. I'm telling you, folks, there's an opportunity here for the Colts and Daniel Jones. Now, Anthony Richardson, he's going to have to sit and he's going to have to learn, and he's going to have to sit and he's going to have to learn. And if Daniel Jones gets hurt, he'll be in there. Because if Jones does start doing stuff that caused Brian Daboll to lose the remaining hairs on his head, will Steichen turn to Anthony Richardson? Will that leash get tighter? I mean, you're going to have to wonder. Certainly if it is one of those moments where let's see what Richardson's learned in the first half of the season and we can turn it around with the kid and he can do all of those incredibly athletic things more than Daniel Jones, and then the job can get saved there because we're assuming Shane Steichen and Chris Ballard's gigs, this is a very important year for them. I knew it. I just knew it. The minute Daniel Jones is like, you know what? I'm not going to stick around Minnesota with the coach of the year who's a quarterback whisperer because there's a kid here that they're definitely going to start. I'm going to go to Indianapolis and go to a spot where there's a kid there who I can beat out, and they're looking to maybe get out from under it. That's the way it felt to me. And now he's a starter there. Now then.
Can I ask you a question? Real
Yes,
quick?
sir.
How, with the 5th pick, they take Anthony Richardson.
That's happened, yes. Can confirm.
He's had 348 snaps in his career, which
Yes, sir.
isn't a lot.
And he didn't have a lot in Florida either.
Yeah, so how's this helping him?
Because he can't handle it. He can't stay healthy. He can't handle it. Listen, I know he had a nice run at it in the second preseason start. After all that time, remember we were talking about with Hawk, Anthony Hawkins here? All that time sitting around. And supposed to be, Andrew Hawkins. Andrew Hawkins here, right?
About the blitz coming off.
David Ajabo standing there, and he didn't see it. And he got blown up. And it's like, dude, this is the sort of stuff you should get past. But there's a lot of stuff that went down there. I don't know what they clearly wanted Daniel Jones there for a reason. And it wasn't just to have. And plus, you do have to look at this. In New York for the Giants, starting Russell Wilson, moving to Jackson Dart, much easier than the other way around, if necessary. Mm-hmm. Okay? Got to figure that out. Right? Starting Joe Flacco and going to some of the rookies, much easier than the other way around. Okay. Right? In Indianapolis, starting Daniel Jones and going, okay, it's Anthony Richardson's time right now. Much easier than, Anthony, we're giving you one last shot. One last shot. Now you're done.
I don't know.
Now you're. Well, I mean, that's got to be part of the thought process. But down the line, he's asking the question like, how's this going to help Anthony Richardson?
Yeah,
he's not ready, and they don't have the confidence in him. They have more confidence in Daniel Jones than Anthony Richardson.
It feels like his Colts career is over. He's gonna have to go the way of Sam Darnold and Baker Mayfield and a few of these other top draft picks who have kind of bounced around. Zach Wilson's on now his third team. It's like whatever.
It looks like that's the case. It's trending in that direction. But I don't think anybody, if I may, say anything as definitive as that about a quarterback anymore after what happened with Bryce Young. Bryce Young last year, new coach.
Yeah, he's been the only one.
I know it's very rare that he just gets flat out benched. Here's Andy Dalton, everybody. And then he comes back and he actually is better. He actually did learn. He actually needed that sabbatical. He actually has turned things around. He actually finished strong last season, and he's going to be starting this year with a lot more confidence. Maybe that's the plan for Anthony Richardson. We thought Bryce Young was toast, and he should ask to get out. There's no reason for him to stay in Carolina. What's the point of it? There's no future for him. And yet, he's the starting quarterback for the Carolina Panthers this year, without question, and a nice head of steam into the season. Maybe that's the way things work for Anthony Richardson at the end of the day. But at the moment, Shane Steichen's got to say he's the starter for the entire season. And if he goes to Anthony Richardson because of ineffectiveness, or Daniel Jones pulls some of the stuff in New Jersey, in Indianapolis, that he pulled in New Jersey that caused the Giants to just flat out cut him and say, we're done. We don't want to see you anymore. If that happens, then he moves to Richardson. They're like, well, you said back on August 19th that it was for the season. What happened? Yeah, things change. What's next? Richardson wins 3 games in a row, and suddenly Shane Steichen's like coach of the year material. Like, this is the sort of the stuff that can happen in the NFL. He's got to say what he said right now, so Jones doesn't look over his shoulder, and Richardson understands what his role is, and that's that. Clearly defined roles and a plan. You go into the plan. Sometimes you can't really plan until you get hit in the mouth or something like that. Is that a phrase?
Everybody's got a plan
until they get hit in the mouth, and they might get punched in the mouth, and that may happen, and the plans change. I get it, but this makes sense to me. Catch the Rich Eisen Show live weekdays from 12 to 3 p.m. Eastern on Roku Sports Channel in the U.S.